Hey everybody, it's 𝗪cie and welcome back to another edition of the White Sox Podcast. I am here at 𝗏𝗏𝘀 Ranch in Glendale, Arizona for White Sox spring training as our spring training coverage continues. And on the podcast today, it's a pitcher who I think is flying under the radar with the White Sox, and that is 𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗶𝗹 Martin. He came back last season after having Tommy John surgery, found a new pitch. The kick changed. And he became a new pitcher with this new weapon. Now, don't look at his win-loss record from last season because, let's be honest, in 10 starts, the White Sox scored only 22 runs for him. He didn't get much run support, but this new pitch is something else. And he's going to show us and explain to us what this pitch is all about, what's behind the new and improved 𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗏 Martin. We're going to talk about how this pitch might transform his career. Plus, we'll talk about some of his teammates like Sean Burke, Noah Schultz, and Hagen Smith. And what Martin Perez said here about the White Sox. Martin Perez says these guys should believe that they can contend. What does 𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗏𝗏 Martin think about that? It's coming up here on the White Sox Podcast. Let's do it. All right, 𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗏𝗀 Martin here for episode 1001.
Oh, I just missed the special one.
Yeah, we had Jermaine die for 1000.
Seems logical.
Yes.
I will gladly take second place to that.
Yeah, but you know what? We're starting off a new 1000 with you, with 𝗏𝗏𝘀𝗏𝗀 Martin.
There we go. Let's do it.
Hey, I feel like you're kind of flying under the radar. I think you're just you're doing your thing, being sneaky, but I see a big season coming for you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I've operated my whole career. It's kind of how I like it. I kind of like doing my business, doing the things I need to do, not being too flashy with it, and then just reclude back into the dugout and be back every 5 days.
Yeah. Is this team in some way flying under the radar?
Yeah, I think anyway, after last year, I think the expectations in general are going to be low for any team that has the season we had last year. And I think we all take that as a challenge on our shoulders to come out and prove some people wrong this year and do things right and maybe win some games.
So you were here for some of the season coming off of Tommy John surgery. What was that like going through that and then coming off of that, and where are you now?
Yeah, I think going through it, we've talked about it last year a little bit. It's tough. We had, long nights, long days out here in Arizona when it was 115 degrees and things seemed like they're never going to end. And, they finally got to a good spot and we got there back to Chicago and, put together a pretty good year last year. And I was pretty happy with how it went. Obviously, the perfectionist in me has some things we want to fix. So I feel like we addressed a lot of that this offseason. And now I think we're in a really good spot. Like you said, have a good year.
All right, I want to get to that. But you're Martin. There's Martin Perez. And I don't know if you saw this, but he shared with us in the media that he's been telling his teammates, telling you guys, I don't know if he's told this to you specifically. He goes, nobody believes in us. The first person who has to believe is us. And then he added, people think we're not contenders, but we're going to be contenders. So this is Martin Perez, veteran pitcher. Now maybe he's just saying this to inspire you guys, but that's what his mindset is. What do you think about what he said?
Yeah, shoot. You're on the big leagues for 13, 14 years if you don't have that type of attitude, and I've been very lucky to be around some really good pitchers in this game, and they all have that egotistical, I'm better than you mentality, and I think that rubbed off on us last year in the starting rotation with Garrett, and I think Martin's taking that torch and running with it as well. I believe everybody does it in their own way, but to be successful, to win games, everybody has to believe that they're the best player on that field in that position that they're in. So, I think that's a great quote from him, and I think that's something that we can rally behind.
And you're one of the guys who mild-mannered off the field. Then you get on the mound, and who are you?
Yeah, no, yeah. No, there's a lot of pent up aggression, a lot of pent up anger, but I don't like to show a lot of emotion. But when I'm on the mound, that's where I can be myself and compete at the highest level, and try to beat somebody in front of me. Honestly, I know they say beat someone into submission. I had an old high school football coach who'd always just say, like, I want to make sure they never want to play the game of football after they play us. And so that's kind of the mentality I took into college. I've taken into professional baseball as well. Obviously, it's a little bit less of a physical sport. But, you know, guys in this league have that reputation about them. You know, guys like 𝗏𝗏, Dylan Cease, 𝗬𝗏, like, guys want to try to avoid that start day. You know, if they can skip the lineup, they will. You know, and I think everybody, you know, Cannon and I have talked about it. You know, that's the type of aura you honestly want to have as a starting pitcher. So, you know, that's what I try to bring to the game. And I try to have that mindset, have that presence on the mound, you know, and so, yeah, that's my goal.
Would you say you've got some of that West Texas attitude on the mound?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
What is West Texas attitude? Did I just make that up, or is that a real thing?
That's a real thing. You know, I mean, when we're from, you know, when people talk about West Texas, everybody gets excited because no one talks about West Texas very often. You know, it's a place full of hardworking individuals that everything they get is what they've earned. Nothing's handed to them. You know, and I want to take that mentality through everything I do and remember who I am and where my roots are from. You know, we'd always go play Dallas-Fort Worth teams, and, you know, they'd be like, oh, who's this small West Texas town? You know, so, yeah, West Texas, it's a hard place, but it creates hard people.
I see a connection between your upbringing and White Sox fans. Sox fans are like, everyone talks about the Cubs, and there's an identity, I don't want to call it identity crisis, but a lot of White Sox fans are like, well, what about us? And they walk around with their chest, you know, pumped in the air.
Yeah.
Like a puffy chest. That's kind of like what you bring to the table from where you're from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's a connection there for sure.
Okay. Now, you came up with a new pitch last season, which I find fascinating how it all came about, because you're in Oakland, and Brian Bannister, director of pitching, and Ethan Coach, the pitching coach, came up to you, and what did they say to you?
Yeah, they opened up with, hey, you know, can you come over here real quick? We're like, yeah, sure. They're like, hey, your changeup stinks. And I was like, okay. Do y'all have anything else? Or is this just fun banter we're going with here? And they were like, no, we think we have something for you. And so they showed me the pitch. Felt weird, but they said, go play catch with it, see what happens. So Katz comes and watches me play catch, and I throw first, second one, didn't feel great. Third one, it just bit and went. And Katz from behind me goes, oh, God. And I was like, is that what it's supposed to do? And he goes, throw it again, and does it again. Does it again. And then we get on the mound, does it again. And we all kind of look at each other and we're like, we got something here, you know? And so next day in the scouting report, it's like, hey guys, you know, this guy can get a changeup. This guy can get a changeup. 𝗪𝗏𝗏, you know, if we can.
𝗪cie Robinson.
Yeah, 𝗪𝗏𝗏, if we can get that, sprinkle it in, let's do it. I think we ended up throwing 20. And I threw some of the best ones that I've ever thrown in that game. So, yeah, no, it was a pitch that, you know, it grabbed it and immediately clicked.
You threw 6 scoreless innings, gave up 2 hits against the A's.
Yeah.
Like, that was immediate. Can you explain to people, and for everyone who can watch on YouTube, I got a baseball here. Can you explain what that is and what you're doing with the baseball?
Yeah, so, it's a 2-seam changeup. You'll grab it with your middle finger and your ring finger, and the kick comes from your middle finger as you climb. And so
it's called a kick change.
It's called a kick change. And so as you go through it, it's built for guys who come through the side of the ball. They're supinators, not pronators. So I've never been able to get inside the ball, especially after TJ got even worse. So I had to find a way to get a changeup. And so this is the only way I could do it. I'm going to have to hold my mic. Yeah, there you go.
All right, there we go. I got you.
So yeah, basically what happens is you come in at 1 o'clock. So this would be 1 o'clock. This would be 12 o'clock. And as you throw it, this middle finger is going to be the last thing on the ball. And what it does is it kicks the axis from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So instead of having a spin like this, you get a spin like this. And so that's what pushes the ball down. And that's what gets almost the splitter changeup type effect.
So what does the ball do when it's thrown effectively to get a hitter?
You know, like if I feel it rip off this seam, I know it's going to be a good one. And you mix it with throwing it hard and having a good movement profile, usually is a recipe for success. So yeah,
So what does the ball do?
It basically just drops, plummets. So like it's going to present itself like a fastball, and at the last second it's going to just die. And so halfway through the plate, it's going to be looking like my sinker. It's going to be looking like my 4-seam. It's going to be looking like the cutter, and out of nowhere, it's just going to drop. and it basically is an inverse of my slider. So now we were working at multiple planes. So for me, it was not only was the pitch good, but it really fit into my arsenal as well. It was able to really play off of it throughout the season. So,
and how hard are you throwing it?
Right now, probably around 90, 91.
That's where you want to be?
Yes. Yeah, the harder, the better. I joked this offseason with one of my best friends. I said, I hope I can throw my kick change faster than my fastball this year. He goes, you're an idiot. I said, okay.
That'd be the first time in the history of mankind.
Maybe, right? Yeah.
My changeup is faster than my fastball.
Exactly. So, it's fun. We'll play with it and see what happens. So.
What does this do for your arsenal, having this pitch now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cat's out of the bag. There's no reason not to talk about it. It is my best pitch. It's something that I feel like guys have to respect in lineups. And so not only do I have a good pitch to throw to guys when I need to swing and miss, when I need a ground ball, but I also have something that I can throw off of to get to other pitches, to surprise guys with fastballs, to surprise guys with sliders, and mix in the rest of my arsenal as well around that pitch. It's been a godsend for me. So it's my favorite pitch.
And how about, is it a game changer for you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think you look at, I always tell people in 2022 when I came up, I thought I was a really good pitcher. Thought I could be in the big leagues as a starter, an everyday starter. And that arsenal at the time, looking back at it now, it's just like, wow. I mean, I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to perfect. And, adding that pitch, adding the cutter, I truly think I have a big league repertoire to throw every day, every 5 days for 33 starts. So definitely gives me the confidence that we talked about earlier in the interview, just to go out there and compete against anybody.
It can be a transformative pitch. Like, you can go from Davis Martin here to Davis Martin here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You want to elaborate, or just keep it right there?
I'll just keep it right there.
Keep it right there? Okay. I had a feeling you were going to do that. I know you so well. Like, maybe I get him to say something really, really cool.
Yeah, let's get a headline here.
Yeah. I was digging for a headline the first day.
I know you were. That's why I said, no.
So let's follow up. And I'm not trying to get a headline here.
No. We're just keep it. We got a long camp left, Chuck.
Are you still not going to share with me the message?
No chance.
No chance. When are you going to share this with me?
Yeah, March 23rd.
My last day here is like March 21st.
There we go. I'll see you March 21st, man.
So on my last day, you're going to share with me.
March 21st. You got it. Me and you.
Okay. So for everyone wondering what we're talking about, I think we have first day in camp. Yep. You said there was a message that was sent by, was it Will?
Yep.
To the team, and you were not going to share that with me.
Correct.
Okay. You'll share that when the time is right.
We're gonna check your reporter, all your assets as a reporter.
My tools,
all your tools.
Yes.
See if you're a 5-tool guy. Can dig it out. Ask around the locker room. Really gonna make you work for it.
Yeah, you know what? I like it. I like a challenge.
There you go.
Yeah. Probably the answer is going to be, I didn't say much after all this. No, but I will follow up. I will follow through, and we'll see what the answer is.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Okay. A few more things before we let you go. I want to talk about some of your young pitching teammates. It's funny I'm bringing up young. Sean Burke is 25.
Yeah.
But he's now really getting that first, it sounds like, that first real opportunity to show what he can do this year.
Yeah. No, I mean, Sean is if you've seen him in person, he is a beast of a human being.
He's 𝗵𝗀𝗄𝗃-esque.
Yes, he's huge. We always joke with him that can't believe you never played a down of football. It's kind of a waste of a body here. But no, Sean's great. I mean, Sean had, he had his rough spill with, his shoulder stuff, and he's grinded through rehab. He's worked his ass off to be in the position that he's in right now. And I don't think he takes it for granted. He loves the competition. He's a gamer, constantly working to get better. It's a guy that I look forward to challenging myself against, not only in the weight room, but the way he takes care of his body, the way he takes care of his arm. It kind of keeps everybody else in check on what they're doing. And so he's a great pillar in our rotation room, and I think he's awesome. I really enjoy being around him. I
mean, he went under the radar last year because he comes up in September, and obviously the season had gone off the rails, and I mean, he was filthy.
Yeah.
Filthy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the thing that we've seen in AAA. We've seen when he was coming up, when I saw him in camp in 23, he's got the stuff. He's got the makeup. We talk about the presence on the mound. He is a big body presence, and who he is, where he's at on the mound at all times. And he's got that imposing, like I said, aura about him. So, man, he's gross. We talked about The only thing he needs to change is he came out throwing 95, 97 plus, and then his second inning he came out against Cleveland and was like 91. And we're like, no. You can't do that. You have to throw harder every time. And so, but yeah, he's fixed that. He throws hard now.
Yeah. Speaking of throwing hard, Noah Schultz, Hagen Smith.
Yeah, no, I've been really lucky to be in their group. We threw bullpens together. Our lives always lined up together. So I really got to get to know those two. Hagen's in my agency, so I got to talk to him outside of the field as well. Most thing I'm impressed about both of them is how they carry themselves as young guys. I mean, I think if you talk to Schultz, you would never know he's a high school kid. There's always a kind of a stereotype around high school kids that they're immature or they don't know what they're doing. You know, the feel isn't there yet. And Schultz has that. Yeah, Schultz feels like one of the guys. He has the feel to take care of himself. He has a routine. Same with Hagen. And I think they're very lucky to have each other to kind of compete against each other. And also they understand, you know, what the other one's going through, you know, as a top prospect, as those type of competition kind of picks up. So no, it's awesome to be around those guys. And as an older guy at 28, you know, it's fun to make sure I don't get caught. So
get caught.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. They're good at baseball, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it keeps everybody on their toes. Like I said, the competition that our starters have had this spring training, I think, has been phenomenal. From the top down, you have Martin, and then all the way down to Schultz that graduated high school 2022, which was gross. It is gross. That hurt. That hurt to hear.
If it hurts you,
it hurts me.
Imagine what that does to me. To me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you know, and I truly do think there's no segmentation between, you know, age groups. It's just we're all starters. We're all in this together. We're all trying to push each other, learn from each other, whatever that might be. But yeah, I've been very impressed with those two.
All right, so who's the better gamer? Is it you or Tim Elko?
Tim Elko.
Tim Elko's better than you. You're freely admitting that.
Yeah, I mean, once I had a kid, that PlayStation went on the shelf.
Okay.
And I had to kick some dust off of it because I'm out here by myself right now. But
so that's why, so your family's coming down here.
Yeah, no.
So before they come here, you have the freedom to, as you said, how long are you going to be gaming with Tim today?
About 4 or 5 hours. I mean, Thorpe said he's going to get in there as well. I mean, the quote Thorpe used this morning was, "Are you going to play with your hands or your feet today?" Because that's how bad I was the other day. And I was like,
Thorpe has that in him.
He does.
Wow, that's lethal.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, we push each other very often, whether it's off field, on the field. We know how to press each other's buttons. So.
See, this is what I see amongst the pitchers, and I know you can't speak for the hitters. We need to get this going more with the hitters. Do you see that going on with them?
You know, I mean, I think right now it's hard because spring training is so much.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of bodies. And, you know, I had a conversation today with somebody who doesn't throw on the same day as me in games, and I was like, I haven't seen you throw. Like, it's just there's a lot going on. You're in your routine, you know. So, but that's the thing. We can control what the pitchers are doing right now, and I think once that 26-man roster gets named, that's when everybody goes, all right, let's get it going. So, yeah.
Well, I was noticing it last year and for a few years, like you guys, the pitching staff has something that I like how you guys engage with each other. I'm nothing against the hitters, but I like where this is trending for you guys, and I like where the season is trending for you, Davis Martin.
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. Get it going.
All right. I think it's going to be a wrap.
Hey, beautiful.
Beautiful?
It's an honor.
Was it an honor?
1,001.
Yeah, you are 1,001.
It only took 1,000 episodes to get me on here.
That's another way of looking at it. I was trying to find the right time. When's the good time to get Dave? Well, you were on it before.
Oh, yeah.
You were on it last year, but you know what? I needed someone special for 1,000, and I needed someone sneaky special for 1,001. And it is Davis freaking Martin.
There you go, man.
All right. That is a wrap for this edition of the White Sox Podcast. Hawk Harrelson, take it away.
All right, Chuck, this edition of the White Sox Podcast is over.